All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the New Orleans Saints.
Let's go, let's go! Ready? 10 logo. 53, Mike. 61, Matchbox White.
On first down, Friedman. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Greer will look to throw on 2nd down. And he'll find Hall. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 22 yards there, a first down.
First down, Ravens.
Here we go! 15, line it. 15 line. On the
They'll run on first down. Friedman takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Watch the run. Watch the run. This shot, baby. That's a big shot. Switch on travel. Fair. Hey, rock it.
From the 50, here's Greer. Going up top. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Hey, Haywood. Check out. 58, boy. 58, Mike. I got him. Hey, 58 is a Mike. Go 58.
Throwing on 3rd down, Greer. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
The Ravens send their punter out now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 15. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42.
We got 4. Look at me. Zipper.
Now a handoff looking right. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
It's our field. Hey, it's our house. Shift. Protein spill. Check. Tighten up. Go. Check Mike 57. Yes, yes.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain there of 21 yards.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Hey, orbit.
57. Mike 57. Rabbit.
Throwing on first down. Jones. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
They do. Now the key, holding on to that attitude, because, man, that streak has been a struggle for them.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Here's Greer, and that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all.
And his first carry, he loses the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. The 20. 10. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
218, chop it. Let's go.
Now on 2nd and 13. Greer. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week. And it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll drop to throw. They shakes him off, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And taken right at the 35. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10.
10 Lobo. Pilot, 64, weak. Get it.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
2nd and 12 at the Ravens' 46-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Bang, 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 bang. Whip, 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 whip. Watch the whip. Check, crunch, crunch.
Now Jones. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Okay, break. 22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber. Break. Show it up, show it up. Bravo. 2.
On 3rd down, Jones. Man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Hey, check Mike 39. Check Mike 39. It's a party now. It's a party now. Hey, check Mike. Ready?
Jones from the gun, he'll throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Yoder. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him on to the height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Let's go. 8 reads. Blue jaw corkers. Watch the screen. Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Hey, high 7. Hit it.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jones. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays.
Alpha.
Hey. 4 down.
Now Jones operating from the gun. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up 4th down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's who you're looking for.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
23 yards, the pickup there.
Number 17. It's a gain of 23 yards. And a Raven first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Recon, 132 fighter. Gone, gone. Hey, exit.
Now back to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Hey, box drop, box drop.
Hey, defense, let's go.
Look at me. Score, score. Get it.
Throwing again on second down. Jones. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it.
Hey, Delta.
57's Mike.
Yep.
57. Get that quarterback and all talk.
Lights it down.
Here's Jones from the gun on 3rd down. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a first down.
Ready.
40's Mike. Let him know.
61, matchbox lights. Buzz. Shoot.
Jones now throwing on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards, good for his Saints, 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Hey, 40's Mike right there.
Hey.
Let's go, team. It's going to be a long day, offense.
Ready?
On first down, Jones. Throws right side, and that's complete. They'll get 34 yards there. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
Oh, a design run for their wideout. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Set up. 18 Gator. Protein spill.
Hey, check Mike 39.
Hey, Echo.
That's a run.
Go.
Hey, check Mike 39. Check Mike 39. Night, sweetheart.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jones. And he whips that one incomplete there. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Go.
I got motion.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Zipper. Hey, Charlie. Fair. Be driven.
On 4th down, Jones. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. He's going deep for Brown. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown with touchdown number 12 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Tucker with the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Get ready. At their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
They come up now, 3rd and 5, following the incomplete pass.
Hey, Haywood! Snap!
Jones off the play fake. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And it's incomplete. Both players had a shot at that one. Neither can get it, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
Here we go. At their own 26-yard line.
Ready.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Switch. Ready.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Miles Boykin, his first touchdown on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
On the set.
Hey, Mike.
Look, squeeze.
You might be dreaming. Watch twin.
Hey, orbit.
Now Jones on 1st and 10. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
On the deep ball. Marlon Humphrey on the coverage.
Got it.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Check tight.
Bravo.
Mike 40. So we got man. 49.
Here's Jones. Gonna throw again. And he comes back with one complete. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Jones now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Jones now from the gun. He'll throw. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Saints have taken the lead. Lutz good on the extra point. And the lead is now 21-14. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This is taken at his 4. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that.
At the 23-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Everyone's got 4.
Throwing, Jones. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying it is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef, they want to run the football. But that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field.
Check three.
They'll set up a throw. And that's caught by Smith. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
This quarterback now 5 of 6, very accurate since taking over, and he's got his guys a first. And he lost the football, and this is picked up by the Saints, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
We just saw the dilemma for every coach. You want them to fight for the extra yardage, but somehow continue to cover the football. Oftentimes when you fight that hard, the ball becomes exposed.
Defensively, it's obvious they're trying to be more aggressive. First tackle a little too aggressive. Second one, though, they strip it loose. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Set 10 Lobo.
All day.
Smith.
40. Here we go.
Fight.
On 2nd and 15 now. Jones firing quickly here, and that's complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing. But I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Down. 30 base.
Check, 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 check.
Hey, zoom.
Let's go. Hey, hey, mine 40, mine 40. Switch up, switch up.
Fair, fair.
Sloans, no, no, no.
Yo, go, go. Shoot.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Jones. And he's going to go down again.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Let's go, let's go.
At their own 18-yard line.
On the ready.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw.
That's the second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Fielded at the 43. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Jones throwing middle, and it's complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And that will extend their lead even further. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a two-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, and now it's third down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Ravens on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. They're going to look to throw. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's a first down with a cherry on top, 31 yards.
And a Raven first down.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
On the ball.
They'll look to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 30. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. 2nd and 14. And that'll be incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
The Saints on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. Jones operating from the gun. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Jones now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Now Jones on 1st down. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th.
Matchbox lights. Hey, exit. Hey, Sam off. Here we go.
trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Alex Anzalone coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. He's going to look deep down the field, and this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. He's going to air one out. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call, and you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Eli Apple, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win.
57, Mike 57. All day, every day, any day. 57 to Mike, 57 to Mike. I'm coming. Kill.
Leo. Ready.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. He's going to let it fly. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, but now it'll be 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill.
Buzz.
They'll set up to throw. And that will be incomplete as well.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Check. Lucky.
Hard.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Squeeze. Hey, wahoo!
58's the mic. 58.
Go.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore 1st down.
Let's go.
Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
X3. 218. Chop it. Rock it. Get it.
Looking to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Alex Anzalone in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Check 24.
They'll look to throw here. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. He's at the 50, the 40, the 30. And can you believe this? Eagles. It's 2 points the other way on the fumble return. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
You ain't doing nothing today. 40's the
Hey, Charlie.
ready?
Here's Jones throwing on first down. Powers through. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Kenny Young, he brought the pressure on the blitz, and he gets there for a loss of 12. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Back to throw. Jones. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call.
Ready? H.E. Gator.
Right there. 40's Mike. You don't want this.
Jones now on first and 10. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
So for the Saints, it's a second win on the year now as they move to 2-8. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
100 yard dash. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. They will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance. Jump in the stands. No man, no man. Oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100 yard dash. 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 Yeah. The stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Beat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote on the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. They will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance. Jump in the stands. No man, no man. Oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100 yard dash. 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 They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just try not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100 yard dash. 100 yard dash. 100 yard dash. 100 yard dash. 100 yard dash.